Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host here. It is Rai. It is springtime. You know that means it is the NBA playoffs. The regular season just ended, so that chapter is in the books. Now there's a brand new chapter, the NBA playoffs, the second season. So, I'm going to do the best that I can to break it down these matchups. So sit back, relax, put your feet up, grab whatever you want to eat, grab whatever you want to drink, because this discussion will be very awesome if you love the NBA playoffs. Here goes nothing. Okay, I'm going to discuss about the Eastern Conference, okay? The Toronto Raptors versus the Washington Wizards. Okay, let's see how they finish. The Toronto Raptors got the best record in the Eastern Conference. Their record is 59 wins and 23 losses. That is very good. Okay, the home record is 34 wins, 7 losses. The division 12 wins, 4 losses. Conference, in the Eastern Conference total, 40 wins, 12 losses. Wow. In the last 10 games, 6 and 10. I'm sorry, 6 and 4. I guess because it didn't matter anyway. And they lost the last game. So the other ones I'm not gonna discuss it, but the numbers and their opponent, they got the best record, home field advantage, wrong sport, home court advantage throughout the playoffs. And their opponent is the Washington. They got the 8 seed, 43 wins, 39 losses, 23 and 18 at home. That's okay. It could be way better. 8-8 in the division. Conference 28 and 24. The last 10 games 3 and 7, not good, and lost 1. So they barely snuck into the playoffs. Okay. So my guess is probably Toronto is gonna probably sweep the series, or maybe Washington might make a series out of it and force. I think they play 7 games. I'm not really too sure. Back in the day when I was watching a lot of NBA back in the 90s, it used to be the first round, best out of 5. I think they changed it over the years. I think it's best out of 7 now. Every round is now best out of 7 because it's all about the money, and it drags out until like almost July. It seemed like it. So my prediction in the first game against Toronto and Washington, I think Toronto is going to win the first series. Okay. Next one is the Toronto and Washington is a 1-8 matchup. Next one is the Cleveland Cavaliers, the number 4 seed, and Indiana Pacers are the 5th seed. So let's see how they finish up. Cleveland is 50 wins and 32 losses. 29 and 12 at home, 11 and 5 in the division, 35 and 17 in the conference, 7 and 3 the last 10 games, and lost 1 game, probably recently. So they clinched the division. I think they did. I think Y means clinch a division. Let me look. Yes, clinch a division. Okay, and then the Pacers, 48 and 34, 27 and 14 at home, 10 and 6 in the division, 32 and 20 in the conference, 7 and 3 the last 10 games, and they lost 1. Not bad at all. Okay, they earned a playoff berth. Most likely, probably Cleveland is gonna sweep the Pacers, or maybe just maybe, Pacers might give the Cleveland a run for the money, maybe a game 6 or game 7. Who the hell knows? But I'm thinking Cleveland is gonna win the series first round. I'd be shocked if Pacers could shock the world and knock out Cleveland in the first round. Now Cleveland made some a lot of trades before the trading deadline. They got rid of guys are not working out. Now, if Cleveland gets knocked out in the first round or second round, most likely LeBron James is going to leave regardless, Now, back in the day, a little flashback. Michael Jordan. I grew up Michael Jordan and company, the Bulls. They got knocked out a lot in the Eastern Conference. And did he give up? No. They keep building his team and building his team. He wasn't a crybaby like LeBron James. I don't give a darn. People love LeBron better than Jordan. Jordan and LeBron are in two different eras. You can't compete. You can't compare with those guys. I wish Jordan was in this era when he's in his prime against LeBron James. That'd be great for ratings, but it's never going to happen. The only way that could happen if you play the video game version of that. So I'm thinking Cleveland's going to win the series, probably a sweep or maybe 6 games. I say Cleveland in 6. And I'd say the first matchup I said, I think Toronto probably in 4. That's my prediction. Okay, next matchup. Okay, the 3 and 6. The Philadelphia 76ers, first time made a playoff in a while, versus the Miami Heat. They're number 6 seed. Let's see what the record was. Okay, Philadelphia 76ers, 52 wins, 30 losses, 30 wins, 11 losses, 9-7 in the division. Not bad. It could improve. The last 10 games, 7-3. Oh my gosh, I just messed up. I'm sorry. I messed up. 52 wins and 30 losses, 30 wins, 11 losses, 9-7. That's right. 34-18 in the conference. Not bad. And guess what? Right before the season ended, they were on a 16-game winning streak. That's insane. Can they do that in the playoffs? Can they make a big damage? And then from Miami, okay, 44 wins, 38 losses, 26-15 at home, 31-21. I'm sorry, 11-5 in the conference division. 31-21 in the conference, 7-3. 7-3 last 10 games, and they lost 1. So my guess is Philadelphia is probably going to dominate against Miami. Philly is just a young team, so probably Philly's going to win in 4 games. Maybe Miami's going to win 1 or 2 games. We don't know, So my prediction is Philly is going to win in 6 games. I just give them that, make it a series out of it. Okay, see here. Okay, next one is the Boston Celtics, the number 2nd seed, versus the Milwaukee Bucks, and they got the 7th seed. Okay, let's see how Boston did. 55 wins, 27 losses, 27-24. Sorry, 27-14. My mistake. 12-4 in the division, pretty freaking good. 33-19 in the conference, 6-4. The last 10 games, it's alright. It could be way better. The last 10 games, they lost a lot of key guys. It happens in sports. And then their opponent, the Milwaukee Bucks, 44-38, 25-16, 6-10 in the division, 27-24 in the conference. Not very good in the conference. 6-4 in the last 10 games and lost 1. So they barely got in the damn playoffs, So Boston's probably going to sweep the series, or maybe Boston probably is going to win the series. Maybe a sweep, or maybe the Milwaukee Bucks is probably win 1 or 2 games, but Boston is going to move on. I'd be shocked if Milwaukee is going to find a way to win the first round. Okay, so that is it for the Eastern Conference. Round 1. Okay, now moving over with the Western Conference. The Houston Rockets, they got the number 1 seed, and their opponents against the Minnesota Timberwolves, they get the 8th seed. Let's see who they face. What's the record is in the regular season. Okay, Houston Rockets are 65 wins and 17 losses, 34 wins, 7 losses. Division 12-4, 41 wins and 11 losses in the conference, 7-3 the last 10 games, and they have a 1-game losing streak. Not bad. So they get the best record. Let's see here. Yeah, they got the best record overall in the NBA. That's awesome, huh? So they got home court advantage throughout if they get that far, if they get to the finals. So they're on fire. And their opponents, Minnesota Timberwolves, for the first time in the playoffs since 2012, Jimmy Butler and company. 3 former Bulls are in that team. That's insane, isn't it? So 47 and 35, 30 wins and 11 losses at home, 10 and 6 in the division conference, 34 and 18. That's pretty good. They gotta work on their conference. Division probably next year. They won 3 in a row right before the season ended. The last game of the season, it was between Denver and Minnesota. They had the same record, but Minnesota won. They own the tiebreaker, so they get the 8th seed. So I'm thinking that Houston's gonna win the series, probably like a sweep, probably in 4 games, or maybe, just maybe, Minnesota's gonna find a way to win 1 game or 2 games. I'd be shocked if Minnesota pulling up, make an upset in the first round. 8 seed versus 8. 1 seed versus 8 seed. Do you guys remember back in the 90s? There's other ones. The one I remember was Seattle versus Denver Nuggets. That was a huge upset. Seattle had the best record in I think in the Western Conference or overall. So that was a huge upset. It's on YouTube. You guys go look it up. Probably a lot of you are too young for that matchup. I remember that matchup. Okay, next matchup. Number 4 seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Utah Jazz, the number 5th seed. Let's see about their record. Okay, the Oklahoma City are 48 and 34, 27 and 14 home, 5 and 11 in the division. Not good at all. Pathetic. But it took a long time to get their mojo working. 28 and 24. And they won 3 in a row, so they clinched a playoff spot. They didn't get 50 wins this year. Wow. And their opponent they got the same record as the Oakland. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about football. Botchmania. I'm not starting over. They got the same record of the Oklahoma City. Thunder. I should say Thunder. 48 and 34, 28 and 13, 7 and 9. In division, 34 and 18, and last 10 games are 7 and 3. Oh yeah, I forgot. Thunder is 5 and 5 in the last 10 games, and they lost 1 in a row. I think Thunder is gonna win this series. I think it might be a sweep, or it might go to 6 games. So either or, hopefully it's gonna be a good series. Next matchup, the Portland Trail Blazers versus they got the 3rd seed versus the Pelicans. They got the 6th seed. Let's see here. New Orleans, okay. Portland, 49 wins, 33 losses, 28 and 13 at home. 28 wins, 13 losses at home, 9 and 7 in division. Not good, but in their conference, overall in the West. For crying out loud, 31 wins, 21 losses, and they won 1 in a row. And the last 10 games are 5 and 5. Portland was on fire this whole year. Now their opponents, the Pelicans, 48 and 38, 24 and 17, 9 and 7 division, and the last 10 games 6 and 4, and they won 5 in a row. It seemed like Utah, New Orleans, Pelicans, San Antonio, and Minnesota is like almost got crappy records. Even Thunder, Portland. So Jesus, guys, you can't get 50 wins, but the Western Conference is very hard. But I think Portland's probably gonna win that series. Probably a sweep, 5-game series, or it might go to 6, or maybe 7. Who the hell knows? The first round, the number 2 Golden State Warriors versus number 7, the San Antonio Spurs. Let's see how the Golden State Warriors did in the regular season. 58 wins, 24 losses. Wow, they lost 24 games this year. 29 wins, and 12 losses at home, 13 wins and 3 losses in the division. Conference 34 and 18, 6 and 4 the last 10 games, and lost one in a row. And their opponents, San Antonio Spurs, 46 and 35, 3 and 3, 33 wins and 8 losses at home, 97 in the division. Conference 29 and 23, and they lost one in a row, so they barely got in the freaking playoffs. Probably wondering why didn't Golden State Warriors did not get home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Well, injuries, so they got in the playoffs. So most likely, Golden State is probably gonna sweep the Spurs, or maybe, just maybe, Spurs will make a series out of this. I don't know. I think it's gonna be 6 or 7 games. Make a series out of it, because if all the first rounds have a sweeps, like 4 game series, or 5, all of them, then the NBA will not like it. If the NBA, if the first round will be over before you know it, the NBA will be very pissed. Wait a minute. All these first rounds got dominated by the better record, But like I said before in the past, anything could happen in the NBA playoffs. I love to see a new team in NBA finals. I really don't want to see the 4th year in a row. I think it's the 4th year in a row coming up, if it does happen. Cleveland versus Golden State. Do we really want to see this? No. I know the Golden State Warriors fans love to see it. I know the Cleveland Cavaliers love to see it. But overall, no one wants to see that matchup. We want to see a fresh NBA finals. I love to see Portland get back to the finals. They had not been to the finals since '92, when they lost to my team, the Chicago Bulls. The Utah Jazz had not been to the finals since '98, of course, against the Chicago Bulls. They lost to them. The Spurs have not been to the finals since, not that long ago. So they're veterans of this NBA playoff bracket. Thunder, it's been a while since they've been to the finals. Once since 2012. They lost to the Miami Heat. So, and then on the East, Toronto never been to the freaking NBA finals. Never. I forgot how they fared. I think they got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year and they lost. Boston, they have a lot of history. They won a lot of championships. Philly, I think this is the first time they've been in the playoffs since 2012. I love to see them make a great run and win the whole thing. That'd be neato, because in football, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. So anything could happen. I love to see Indianapolis Pacers go far in the playoffs. But in the first matchup, they got to face the Cavs. I don't want to see the Cavs go back to the finals again. If there is, then most likely they're going to win it, or maybe Golden State. I love to see Milwaukee Bucks go far. To surprise the people in who loves the NBA. I love the NBA, but it's not as good when I was growing up in the early 90s, in the early 2000s, So that's it. So that's what I'm going to discuss, is the first round of the NBA playoffs. If the second round is all done already, I'll discuss that. If not, then I'm just going to discuss when the NBA finals kicks off. So there should be some good matchups. Hopefully no blowouts. I like to see buzzer beaters, close games for all these NBA matchups. So who do you think is going to win these games in round 1? And how many games do you think it's going to have a sweep? Do you think any of these matchups for the East or West going to force a Game 6 or force a Game 7? Let me know what you think. Are you looking forward to? I think it kicks off this Saturday. Have a good one. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know who you think is going to win to get to the NBA Finals. Do you think we're going to have a brand new NBA champion? Do you think it's going to be some underdogs win the whole thing? Let me know what you think. I think some first round matchup is pretty interesting on paper, but hopefully it's not going to be a blowout. Because if it is a blowout, the NBA will be pissed. Especially if it's like a key matchup. If Cleveland gets knocked out in the first round, or if Golden State gets knocked out in the first round, Anybody can win the NBA Finals, right? Or am I wrong? Have a good one and enjoy watching the I was gonna say NBA Finals, and enjoy watching the 2018 NBA playoffs. I don't know why I messed up, but I'm sorry. And enjoy the ride to get to the NBA Finals. Have a good one. Goodbye.